Hello and welcome to History Has Layers. In today's video, we are going to explore whether this gentleman, Ivar the Boneless, travelled through the Silk Road as perceived in the series, or if this is a lie fabricated by the writers. To answer this question, we need to know what the Silk Road was all about and what it entailed. The Silk Road that you can see here on your screen is an ancient network of trade routes which started in 2nd century BCE, lasting thousands of years, ending around the 15th century. It stretched over 4,000 miles with land and sea connections within the route, ranging across Asia, Europe and Africa. The most famous person to travel the Silk Road was Marco Polo, and I don't mean the swimming game. This person travelled from Europe to China, which took over 20 years of his life. The Silk Road brought not only materials, but culture across the whole world. Multiple types of goods were traded along the Silk Road, including silk, of course, tea, spices, gold, silver, wool, ivory, and precious stones. This shows how the concept of money in their day was completely different to the present day, as trades were based on materials. However, it wasn't just materials that were traded. Culture spread through the Silk Road, such as religions like Christianity and Buddhism, arts and crafts, languages, and present technologies of their time. These trades were important as it gave innovations from trades for both the East and the West. Vikings on the Silk Road? Honestly, it's very unlikely. The Vikings, however, incredible sailors and traders, moving along rivers and across seas throughout northern Europe, and even reaching parts of the Middle East. Some Viking trading routes connected indirectly with regions linked to the Silk Road, so they could access goods like silk and spices, but historically there is zero evidence of Ivar himself ever travelling on the Silk Road. This information actually changes a lot of Ivar's story within the series. Let's take a look. After Ivar lost Kattegat to his brother Bjorn, he was seen travelling along the Silk Road, which landed him in Kiev. In the show, Ivar the Boneless travelled the Silk Road, meeting characters such as Oleg, Princess Katia, and Igor, but historically this would have been impossible, as Ivar lived in the mid-9th century, focused entirely on Northern Europe and the British Isles, while Oleg, Igor and Princess Katia either lived in different decades or in different regions. I personally enjoy this part of the series, as Igor and Ivar's relationship is a very nice watch. However, Oleg, not as nice. What do you think about Ivar and Igor's relationship in the show? Me personally, it was one of my favourites. Or how about the way Oleg is portrayed? Would you change the storyline to make it more historically accurate, or do you enjoy the creative twists that the writer made? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to leave your opinion in the comments below. I always love to hear other people's opinions on my favourite series. Overall, the answer is no. Ivar never set foot on the Silk Road, but instead he wasn't just sitting around. He is known to have led the Great Heathen Army, with some sagas stating that he even ended up ruling Dublin, where he eventually died. Thank you for listening.